Well, hello, hello, my fellow sensitive people. It is I, your favorite oracle named Whimsy. I'm here in Beersheba. It's quite lovely. I just was at Ben Gurion University yesterday talking with people from the conflict resolution department about publishing the Oasis One research there. And today we will be going back to Tel Aviv. As many of you know, there was a bombing near the airport, a Houthi bombing near Ben Gurion Airport. So I was not allowed to leave on the 8th as the flights were grounded. So the soonest I can get out will be the 12th. Is there anything else I have to say? Oh, yeah, I'm having a lovely time. There's a lot of good hummus. I'm here with my best friend, Aviva Cedar, and her husband, Shaul, and they're accompanying me on our travels. They're kind of doing a second honeymoon, which is kind of nice. I'm leaving them. They have their own hotel room. And I'm leaving them to go off and explore things while I work. So that's been good. In terms of the rebuild of Gaza, I have perfect faith. I have perfect faith that my data is sound, and I believe that we will see the rebuild include oasis zones of peace and integration between the people of Gaza and the people of Israel. Now, there are a lot of people that are upset about the fact that Israel is going in and occupying Gaza in order to stabilize Gaza and remove Hamas. This is because there's a lot of disinformation about Gaza. So let me try and explain it to you. Currently, Gaza is under forced occupation by Iran. Iran has come in and has been occupying Gaza for a very, very long time. Now, in 2004, 2005, the people of Gaza voted for Hamas, but I don't think that they knew what they were getting. And a lot of the young people of Gaza, many young people of Gaza today, never had a chance to vote for Hamas because they took away elections. And when Iran came in, it was a proxy army of Iran. They vowed to destroy the state of Israel. They built tunnels. They began firing rockets at Israel and making life hell for the Gazan people because it became this war back and forth between Iran and Israel while the people of Gaza were stuck in the middle of it. And so the only way we can see peace and safety for the people of Gaza is if we lure or encourage Hamas families and Hamas supporters to leave Gaza, which is what we are doing, so that the good people of Gaza can stay and get on with their lives. The process of occupation will take between 2 and 5 years and will end with local people, the people themselves, running Gaza with support from hopefully the West, which would be Israel, the United States, possibly members of the Abraham Accords. This is how I believe it will end. Just as the United States occupied the islands of Japan after World War II, we're going to see the same thing in Gaza. If you were to ask the average Japanese person, do you want the Americans to leave the islands? They would say absolutely not, because if we leave the islands, China will come in and we will see a continuation of the wars that have been happening for a very long time between Japan and China, with retaliation by Japan, vice versa. Of course, the rape of Nanjing was a famous example of that, tit for tat. And so when the big bad Americans came in and began occupying places like Okinawa and mainland Japan, they were able to stabilize, build a strong ally in Japan, help their economy, and protect them from further attacks by China. So in the end, it worked out great for Japan. And my prayer is that the same thing will happen with Gaza, despite all the crazy things that are being said back and forth. I think there's a lot of confusion on both sides, but if they are following the Oasis One protocol, then it makes sense that you would first take the perimeter because that's the area that is unused lands that could be expanded for people that are friendly neighbors of Israel, and that would actually expand the amount of space for the Gazan people. Also, if you have 400,000 people that are supporting terrorism and they leave, that's also going to open up a lot of space for law-abiding, normal Gazan people. So, there's a lot of John Wayne kind of talk, which is cute, but it really doesn't have anything to do with the process. And the process of taking out this Iranian proxy army, blowing up tunnels underground, which were used to kill people, that's a process that takes years. I believe in the Oasis One. I believe in the science and the data of Oasis One and the vision of Oasis One, which is to create a world of prosperity and blessings for the people of Gaza. They have great wealth in Gaza, and I think that if we can work with the people and if they are willing to shake hands and work with the West, it will go very well for them. They will have many blessings. In terms of whether or not we will see, a soft border, yes, I think that that's probably going to happen within the next 20 years if we follow this trajectory, just as it worked in Japan. I think a lot of people don't realize just how difficult things were between the United States and Japan, suicide bombers, etc. And yet we were able to create a beautiful relationship with that part of the world. In fact, it's one of my favorite countries to visit. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to do the Empath's prayer, and then we are going to see what the message from Spirit is. Thank you so much for your love and support of this channel and for your advocacy of peace. Let's go ahead. We'll do the Empath's prayer, and let's see what the message from Spirit is today. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. All right. So a couple of people have written Oasis proposals. My Oasis proposal has nothing to do with any previous Oasis proposals. Oasis One was developed independently. But other people have developed their own Oasis programs, just to let people know about that. Oasis One is the Anderson development. You can Google it, or you can ask Grok. Grok has very strong opinions about me. All right, let's take a look. I think it's going to be good. I think the message today from Spirit will be good. And thank you for subscribing. Subscriptions are appreciated, and memberships. If you are a peace lover, if you don't like terrorists, this is the place for you. If you want the people of Gaza happy and free of terror, then this is the place for you. All right, things are moving very quickly. We've talked about the 5 phases. We've talked about the fact that number 1, we have to stop fighting, ceasefire. Number 2, we have to lure terrorists out of the area. Number 3, we want to see a rebuild. Number 4 is the destruction of Putin's leadership. And number 5 is the takedown of Iranian leadership, would most likely be the phases adopted by the Western alliance because of the instability of Iran. Iran's influence in politics, etc., with Russia has become a global threat. And for those reasons, we're pretty sure that that is the process that will happen, those 5 phases, because that's what the data shows. And we see here this chariot energy moving very strong. Now is the time for the warrioress. Women sitting pretty, being calm, being nice, being sweet is not the direction we need to be going right now. You can see the Queen of Wands is emerging, and she is the Queen of War. She is like Deborah. She comes in, she fights, and Yael. She comes in, she fights, she conquers. Where we are right now is we are beginning to understand the nature of our own power. So we're all coming into, wow, the power of a single individual. Look what Whimsy did. She built this thesis, got it to Mr. Musk, Elon Musk, got it to Joe Biden, got it to all world leaders, was able to get them to have this conversation. The power of a single individual. This is really what, when you know you have a good idea and you are willing to work hard with anybody and everybody to share your idea, even people you thought you'd never sit down with. This is, I think, the secret to us sharing all of our information so that we can create a beautiful world. But understand just how powerful you are, that if you want something and if you work hard at it, you can achieve it if it's positive. We're in a time of power. Like I said, things are moving very quickly. We're in the time of the warrioress, and we see war. War is over us. This is the time of war. This is like the final battle between evil and good, between Hamas and which loves death. They think they have made peace with death. They love death. They have ceremonies where they bury themselves alive, and all they think about is death. And everybody else who wants life and happiness for the world. So we see this war going on between good and evil, between life and death, and life always wins, because nothing is more powerful than love and life. What is above us is we are just at the precipice of peace. Queen of Cups dreams. She weaves, she rubs her lamp and dreams. This is in the 4th house, which would indicate to me that we are on the verge of creating our dreams. We are just now beginning to manifest the dreams of what we want in the world. And what we're sitting in is the heavy load that lay ahead. You can see the dreamer and the work are the opposition to one another. That we cannot procrastinate. Whatever your calling is in life, do not procrastinate. Do not sit and dream. You must also do the work. It's a combination of dreaming, but also we have to have implementation. And the past placement for us is it is the time. It is the time now for war, but it will be the time of peace. The next few weeks will be very decisive. I think in the next 3 to 4 weeks, we could see a final showdown between IDF and Hamas as more people are being brought in to end the war. The fool takes a leap of faith. They go towards the dream. I'm the dreamer, right? We go towards creating this crazy vision of integration and peace. And 6 of Wands, we have a victory card. In the next 6 months, we are marching towards victory, marching towards peace. The opposition is besides themselves. They don't have money. They don't have resources. And there's this huge transformation happening. People don't want to give up their addictions. They don't want to give up their beliefs on both sides. Maybe they're addicted to some ideas, and it's hard to break that codependent relationship, whether it's a cult of belief or something like that. But the only answer is cooperation and integration. We see here taking the weapons of war away from our enemies, and the opposition is completely cut off, strangled. And the hopes and fear is the King of Peace. We want the King of Peace. And the final outcome is the green economy. This is something that I predicted for the future of the world, was that we would all begin to move towards the new green economy and saving the planet, saving Gaia. 6 of Wands is profits from that which you have invested in. It's reaping what you sow, often wealth. It also is a card I use for the green economy, meaning eco-friendly businesses. businesses that nurture the earth will bring abundance to those who invest. If you invest in the earth will invest in you. And that magic formula is, in fact, the future of the world. It's also the future of the oasis zone, because the oasis zone will probably be a wonderful tourist area. Once the terrorists are gone, people will be able to go to Gaza and spend money in Gaza that will go to the Gazan people and will go to the Abraham Accord countries, because the truth of the matter is the only way you're going to get people to invest in peace is if they know that they're going to benefit personally. And so the good news about these kinds of peace programs, like, for example, what happened in Japan, is that it became very prosperous for Japan. They wound up making a lot of good trade decisions as a result. Tourism, unfortunately, got out of hand. Everybody wanted to visit Japan, and it almost became almost became too blessed with too many tourists. But that's basically what we see. We see that stranglehold is going to be difficult to let go of. When it comes to working towards peace, you're always going to have those people that want to cling to the old ways. That is ultimately the biggest challenge with the devil card, because the devil card can be a codependent, addictive relationship with something dark or negative. A cult would be a good example of that. However, this beautiful blessing of the new green eco-friendly economy that's coming in, the spiritual shift that's coming in, will ultimately be the salvation of the world. All right. I want to thank you for listening to this amazingly positive tarot reading from beautiful Beersheba, Israel, home of Abraham, Avraham Avinu, the father of both the religions of Judaism and Islam, and hopefully a great place to begin to open up Oasis programs, I'm hoping. All right, if you're trying to get in for a reading with me, I will be back in the United States next week. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Thanks again. Thanks for your support.